Going to take you down to Belize as we are chatting with Dennis DM Meador. He is the founder and CEO of the Legal Podcast Network. You can find more about them at thelegalpodcastnetwork.com. DM, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Don't worry. It's taken some of my family years to get it. So only took you one try. So I appreciate it.
I will do my best to stay consistent. No guarantees, though.
No worries.
So you have the Podcast Legal Network. I'm curious, how did you get to this spot of wanting to help lawyers and, publish podcasts on behalf of lawyers into this network format?
So I have a background in marketing. I've done it about 30 years, basically my whole career. I went to college for theology and ended up on like a sales floor, phone sales, ended up in advertising, phone sales, loved it, then got into entrepreneurship. I'd been an entrepreneur as a teenager, a couple different things that I did that's how I never had like a job. I'd worked at Burger King a little while, but I always made money though. So, as I got into marketing, then through the years, I learned probably about 8 years into my career, I guess, I learned how much I enjoyed working with lawyers. And so, although I'd done marketing and had come up with some concepts, I learned pretty quickly, like I like white collar. I like the realtors, the mortgage brokers, the insurance agents. And then everyone's like, well, lawyers are tough. And then, I'm the kind of person I'm like, you tell me it's tough. They're like, they're tough, but they got money. And I'm like, well, I'll try them. And so I started selling them and I excelled with it. And what I like about attorneys, and I say this 100 times, I say this every time I talk about, because everyone's, why attorneys? They are typically taught to work off of logic versus emotion. And so when you are discussing selling to them, however you want to say it, if you don't want to use sales tactics. You don't want to come at them with, if you buy, if I could bring you 5 clients a month, how would that change your life? And those sort of sales tactics that are out there.
Sell me this pen, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, should I send this to your house or your yacht? That sort of thing. So although with attorneys anyway, so so I got into selling them. And what I liked about it was I could have a discussion without it turning into an argument. So I could say, well, I hear what you're saying, but what about this? And like blue collar guys would be just like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking. You don't tell me how to run my business, Whereas with an attorney, if you presented them with a piece of logic, they would go, huh. And then like you could, kind of make it make sense. And then if you did, then more often than not, I found that they would say, all right, I'll give it a try.